Before coins jingled in pockets or paper bills were folded into wallets, people found inventive ways to trade and store value. Early forms of money were often tied to what was essential for survival or challenging to acquire. Societies relied on items that held practical use or symbolic significance, shaping unique monetary systems that reflected their needs and environment. In many cases, what was considered valuable varied widely across cultures. Understanding ancient currencies gives a glimpse into how different civilizations solved the universal problem of trade and exchange. It also highlights a recurring theme. Money isn't always about its physical form, but rather the trust and agreement of the people using it. In ancient Rome, salt was more than a common seasoning. It was an essential resource with immense value. This mineral played a crucial role in preserving food long before refrigeration existed, making it a vital commodity for survival. Its importance was so significant that Roman soldiers were occasionally paid with salt rations, a practice that eventually gave rise to the word salary, derived from the Latin term sal. The word salary comes from the Latin sal. The value of salt extended beyond the Roman Empire. Throughout history, it served as a powerful trade item across various cultures, often referred to as white gold. Transporting salt was no small feat, and its production required intensive labor, from mining it deep underground to extracting it through evaporation from seawater. In some cases, entire trade routes were established around salt, such as the ancient salt roads of Europe, which facilitated its exchange across vast distances. Salt also played a role in rituals and social customs, further solidifying its importance. It was used to seal agreements and as a sign of hospitality. Seashells, particularly cowrie shells, played a fascinating role as currency in various cultures across the Pacific and parts of Africa. Their natural beauty, durability, and portability made them an ideal medium of exchange. In some societies, cowrie shells weren't just practical, they were symbols of status and wealth. They often traveled long distances along trade routes, connecting communities and economies in ways that few other objects could. The use of cowries as money wasn't limited to small, everyday exchanges. In some communities, they were used to pay dowries, settle disputes, or honor significant social agreements. Despite their simplicity, cowrie shells became one of the most widely used forms of currency in history, a testament to human ingenuity and the ability to assign value to even the most unassuming objects. On the island of Yap in Micronesia, one of the most unusual and captivating forms of currency emerged: rye stones. These were massive limestone discs, some reaching up to 12 feet in diameter and weighing several tons. The size alone made them impossible to carry, but that didn't matter. Ownership of a rye stone was determined by community consensus rather than physical possession, making these stones a fascinating example of symbolic money. The limestone used to create them wasn't found on Yap itself but had to be quarried from islands hundreds of miles away. This required incredible effort, as the stones were carved and transported across open ocean waters using traditional sailing canoes. Transactions involving rye stones were often tied to significant events, such as dowries, political agreements, or settling debts. In some cases, a stone that had sunk to the bottom of the sea during transport still retained its value because everyone knew its story and location. The concept of agreed value has been the foundation of currency throughout history. In fact, the first paper currency introduced by European governments was issued in North America in 1685, using playing cards as cash signed by the governor. This principle also applies to modern digital currencies like Bitcoin. Released in 2009, Bitcoin reached a valuation of $1.14 trillion by 2024. The history of money reveals a fascinating journey of human innovation and adaptability. As economies evolved, so did the forms of money. The introduction of paper money during the Yuan dynasty in China highlighted the efficiency of moving away from bulky metals. Today, the idea of currency continues to evolve, with digital money and cryptocurrencies challenging traditional notions of value. Ultimately, money is more than a medium of exchange. It reflects human culture, creativity, and the need for connection. Understanding its history gives us a deeper appreciation for the ingenuity of past civilizations and the ongoing evolution of trade and value in our own time.